Hey, it's Rebecca, and I just want to start out by saying this. Don't you want to go? It's the place to be. Strangers become family. Three old lady recipes. Wait, no, fried chicken and mac and cheese with three old lady recipes. Won't you and your family come and hang with Candy and the gang? Gang, gang. Okay. I tried my best. Sorry if that wasn't good enough for you, but I just had to put out a little tribute to Candy and the Gang. RIP to the show, to my show. I love this show a lot. Let me turn up my phone a little bit because I put my phone down because I have a tendency to move around a lot. And it sounds kind of funny. I listened to one of my old recordings and I was like, oh my God, this sounds horrible. Because I move around so much. I usually record from my bed sometimes because it's just easy for me to do in my room. But I need to stop sitting in my bed because it's making too much noise. So anyway, let's get to this video. Yeah, as the title, you can see, Dear Bravo, where the F is Candy Man? As you see in the background, that's the Candy Man, if you've ever seen the Candy Man, which I'm sure a lot of you have, which was one of my favorite movies growing up. Let me start my little presentation. I did put something together because I'm usually lazy, but I put together a little slideshow. Got some stills. It's not working. Come on. Like, this must be really slow. What speed is this on? Okay, here we go. We hear you looking for Candy and the Gang. Bitch. Yeah, that's from Candyman, I'm sure. You remember that line, right? I am looking for Candy and the Gang. I just found out, I think a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I was extremely disappointed to find out that Bravo is not bringing Candy and the Gang back. And that really pisses me the hell off, to be honest with you. Because I really like that show a lot. I watched it the first season, and I liked it so much. They did Candy wrong. Look, I thought the show, it didn't get the best ratings because it was put on at a time where a lot of things, I think it was around the holidays, around Easter. That was my bad photoshopping. I'm trying to make Candy look like Helen Candy. Yeah. The Queen Bee. Maybe Bravo thought her show was shit. So that's why they got rid of it. But I liked it a lot. I thought it was wholesome. It wasn't too much drama. It had enough tension. Enough drama. I know Candy was pissed off, by the way, when they did that to her. Because Candy has done a lot for the network. And for Real Housewives of Atlanta, I think. But not enough to save the show. And not enough for me personally to keep watching it. Can't watch that show anymore. I'm going to pause right quick. Because on Candy and Todd kissing, isn't that beautiful? Love is beautiful. Because I watched the first episode of season 14, I think, of Roa, and it was just too negative for me. Coming out of COVID and dealing with depression from being in the house and just losing my mind and going through so many things, it was just not something that I was feeling. I did not want to hear it. I think I'm just outgrowing it. When it started, I was younger, and now I'm older, and it's just, I don't know if I want to see a bunch of women with money argue with each other. And the older I get, the more my taste for certain things that I liked when I was younger has began to change. Like, for instance, Candyman. I love that movie. I used to love horror movies when I was younger, like Hellbound, Hellraisers. That was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. Yeah. But as I gotten older, it's just that low frequency stuff, it just kind of bothers my soul a little bit. And it's just too much. Not saying that I'm above, I fly above all the drama. I don't. I'm still, I still like it a little bit now and then, but it's just, I don't want to just hear constant ripping down. And that's what I liked about Candy's show. It had that element that Roa doesn't have anymore. It was fun. And I don't know, maybe Roa got better as the season went along because I never watched any more episodes past the first one. Just wasn't interested. And I do not like Marlo at all. With her Kandi, her manly voice. Like, come on now. I can't take it. I can't do it. So I loved watching this show. I thought it was fun. Like I said, wholesome. And it was fun watching the old lady gang. And it was just fun getting to know Candy's family and the staff. A lot of people didn't like certain staff members. And, I think that's kind of what they do on these shows. That's, the whole formula. They always have to have some type of villain on these shows. And I think her name was Chandrika because I haven't watched it in so long. She was like the villain of the show, I guess. So maybe they made her the villain to take some of that heat off of Mama Joyce because she's always been the arch nemesis of a lot of people, you know, stemming from her days of harassing and taunting Todd when he was trying to marry Kandi. But I digress. I just don't understand how Bravo could get rid of a show that had so much potential. The characters I thought were lovable. I've seen a lot of other people that liked it. Just makes you wonder about some of the stuff that Nene Leakes was saying. Is there some truth to that? Because they kept a lot of shows on that probably didn't get as much of the ratings that Candy shows has gotten. I heard like Below the Deck wasn't that good, and it didn't get like high ratings in its first few seasons. I don't know because I never watched it. Not interested in watching it, and I'm just not interested in watching a ton of TV. To be honest with you, period. It's nothing against these shows, but I can hear my son gaming in the background. It's just that's why I'm in my room right now. So it's just that I just like watching shows, that I can relate to and that inspire me. And seeing women, a powerful woman like Kandi, who is my shero, I like watching her and I get inspired by watching successful people. Another show I love to watch is Brad Loves Judy on WeTV. Shout out to WeTV. If you've never seen, shout out to Brad, shout out to Judy, Big Booted Judy, and the Brat. If you've never seen their show and you're not a homophobic person, you should check it out because it's a very wonderful show. I love it so much. I can't wait till it's back on. I don't want to digress, but I hope that they are able to expand their family. So anyway, I like watching shows like that where there is some tension because it's real life. When you're in a relationship with anyone, it's not going to be all rainbows and roses and all the time. You're going to have some drama in relationships. Some couples, they have little rifts and families have rifts, and that's what the show is about. But it's not like this whole just degrading experience. And I know I should have wrote a list before I did this because I don't want to forget everything I want to say. But I know some people were speculating that the show isn't coming back because of the issues with the restaurant being shut up, which I think Kandi should move her restaurant. If it's in a bad neighborhood, she should move it. I know she's trying to do something to help the community out and do something. She's probably trying to save some money too. Let's keep it real. We all know Candy's cheap. She's probably trying to, maybe, she got some better deal on real estate in a certain neighborhood, but she needs to just up the ante and just move it to a better location because now she's being sued because of an incident where a customer got shot from another customer, just a random customer that came in. I don't know if they were after someone, but the customer that got shot was an innocent bystander. And they're suing Kandi and the establishment, I guess for negligence of security or something like that, which is really unfortunate for Kandi because I really feel like she does as much as she can and to help the community. And it's unfair that, people have to be so sue happy nowadays because I don't know how much control she had over that. I don't know the whole details of the lawsuit and of the restaurant, so I don't want to say too much. I don't want to victim blame or anything like that, but it's just really unfortunate that happened, and I hope that everyone can just work something out and everything is, all is well with Kandi and the business and everything like that, because I think, aside from the food being completely unhealthy, which I don't agree with, because that's one thing we don't need in our community is more unhealthy food. We have enough of those restaurants. I tell you, growing up on the south side of Chicago, there's three things you see everywhere. That's You see churches, you see liquor stores, and you see fast food restaurants like everywhere, literally right next to each other. You have them right next to each other, right across the street from each other, on top of each other, underneath each other. It's just insane. And when I was growing up in Chicago, children would eat like junk food for breakfast and restaurant food and stuff instead of eating healthy meals. And that's why we have so many issues with health in the black community, African American community, whatever you want to call it. So I don't condone in that, but it should be something that people should just enjoy every now and then. It should not be something that you have on a day-to-day basis. It should just be like a treat that you have, like a once a month type of thing. Reward yourself. But nonetheless, I think that she did this restaurant to help her family out, and I think it was really smart to give them something to do. The older women, because they're all like past, retirement age, and it's really good and healthy for older people to stay active as they age, because it helps them to just stay mentally active, help them stay physically active instead of just sitting around with nothing to do. It gives them a purpose. For that reason, I don't know if I ever really want to retire, because I don't want to just have absolutely nothing to do. I have to do something, or else I will get as big as a house if I just sit in a house all the time. So that was a good aspect of the show, was her helping out her family and then helping out her employees. She was helping them to get recognized by doing this show. And a lot of people say that Kandi is boring and blah blah. The focus of the show wasn't on Kandi, it was on her employees. Like, they showed her sometimes, but the show revolved around her family and her business and the staff. And they were some really colorful people. My favorite one was definitely Brian. He is just such a sweetheart. I talked to him on Instagram, and I really hope that he is successful one day with his soul rolls, because if he ever makes them gluten free, I would definitely be checking him out, because I am gluten free. So, but I hope that Kandi could somehow continue this show. I wonder, is there any way that she could just move this show to a different network? If someone in her team is watching, I know they've already thought about this. I'm not telling them something they don't know. But just to reinforce that idea, I mean, you guys can do this show. You can have your own production team. You don't need to sit around and wait for Bravo to do this for you. I don't know if they own the rights to the show. Now that's something different. But if they do, I don't know what was in the contract. I don't know if they can make another show that's similar to that show, or how that goes, because in business, excuse me, you have these kind of contracts, and sometimes you aren't allowed to work with different networks, or you're not allowed to, they might, like, even with Kanye and Adidas, for instance, even though he designed the Yeezy shoes, Adidas owns the designs now, even though he's no longer with Adidas. So it might be one of those things like that, where Bravo is owns the show now, so she can't do it until maybe a certain amount of years. I don't know, but I really strongly believe that Kandi should try to pursue this on a different network. I think that someone, what is it, Zeus? I heard someone saying she should do that. She should definitely do that. I mean, she could even, she has a husband that's a producer. She has money. Start your own production company. Start right here, and then help build it. And it eventually will build. She's in Atlanta. Work with Tyler Perry. And I know he does movies, but still. There has to be so much networking going on, I can imagine, in that city. And as she has the resources, it's not like she's broke. Sometimes you got to spend money to make money. So that might be something she wants to do, because she is a boss, and I could see her doing that. And that's something that my people need to do more, is own their own production companies, their own studios, and start relying on white people to produce things for them, because they know at the end of the day, you are not going to get the same damn treatment that they give their own people. It's just not how it goes. I don't care what nobody says. Andy definitely had favoritism towards Kim Zolciak, and several other people, Bethany Frankel, Kyle Richards, Lisa Vanderpump, and now Kathy Hilton, because he fired Lisa Rinna to bring Kathy Hilton on because she said she wouldn't come back. So, and I mean, Lisa Rinna is one of his people too, but he's after the more rich people and more whiter people. And in my opinion, I think, I at first I didn't want to side with Nene just because I didn't like Nene. I don't like her attitude. She's just so annoying to me. She reminds me of like almost a wilder version of Meghan Markle, but the Meghan Markle is more tame, where they just never take any responsibility for anything that they've done, and the blame just always goes on someone else. It's always someone else's fault. They did it. They did it. It's never, I may have been wrong, and that's something I don't really see from her a lot. So I'm digressing. I'm starting to lose my train of thought. And you know what? I didn't. Oh yeah, I did smoke a little bit earlier. But yeah, I think that there was some truth to what she was saying, because at the end of the day, I think there's different levels of racism. People would think that there's just one level. If you don't, that you're going to be with a KKK, the hood on, going to meetings or something, burning cross. They don't really do that anymore. But whatever they do, it's no, not everyone does that. There's covert racism, and there's overt racism. So you have some people that are just undercover on the down low, and they might not even think that they're being racist. There's people that are married. I married a person of a different race, and they said something racist to me one day, and I'm like, what? And I was pregnant with their child. I'm like, do you not realize that your child is going to be half black? Like, come on. And then come to find out, I did a DNA test with that person. They were like 9% African. That was funny. Rubbing that in their face, like, you're one of us. But yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with it. He should be happy to be one of us, because I'm proud of who I am. Everyone should be proud of who you are, no matter what you are. Black, white, red, yellow, brown, whatever. Pink, whatever, orange, So yeah. I just can't believe they did this. It just makes me so mad. I don't understand why they couldn't give it another shot. Why they couldn't give it another chance? Like, give it one more season. They were just getting ready. I know that they were getting ready to pop off. And if there was issues with that restaurant location, they could have filmed at a different location. She has different restaurants. They didn't even have to film at the restaurant if there was some liability issues. I guess that would still be included for all the law people out there and come at me. Well, it doesn't matter where you film. It's still, you're still with the corporation. You're still involved with them, so they can still come after them if something happens while they're filming, I suppose. But maybe it could have been them moving the restaurant to a better location. That would have been nice to see, and just starting over and seeing the whole process of starting a business for people out there that want to get into the restaurant industry, which I'm a part of. Well, I was a part of. I don't know if I want to be a part of it anymore, but I am a chef. And I'm kind of over the whole thing, to be honest with you. But this isn't about me right now. But if other people out there that would I want to own a restaurant? Maybe. I mean, maybe a food truck or something. I don't think I would want to deal with all the overhead of owning actual establishment, brick and mortar building establishment. Like maybe a ghost kitchen. For all you don't know what a ghost kitchen is, it's a kitchen where they just pick up deliveries, and there's not really a area for. It's like I worked in a ghost kitchen. It was like a building. It had a whole bunch of different businesses in there, like all different kinds, and people like from different delivery services like Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatever, will come pick up the food and deliver it to the customers. So we didn't have to deal with customers face to face. It was all just working with each other. And that had some ups and downs to it because it was a confined space, so it was kind of tight. But it was nice not having to deal with the public, because I'm an introvert, and that's part of the reason why I became a chef, because I ain't got time to be dealing with the public, man. I ain't got no time. But sometimes I do miss dealing with the public, which is I just want to do half public and half not dealing with the public. But that'd be ideal for me. But it'd be a good experience and a good inspiration for people to see the whole process, how she started it, and yeah. I'm just coming up with ideas because I want the show to come back, and I hope that somehow she can figure out how to bring the show back because it's needed. We need to see positive, and not just that. It was really good to see people of the LGBT community in different not roles, but just different with different personalities versus just seeing the stereotypical um, gay people that you would just see like the flaming queens. There was just different. You had Philip, who was more masculine, and then you had Richard, who liked to dress really flashy, and then you had Brian, of course, who was more flamboyant, and Taryn, who was more masculine than Brian. And I think I named all of them, right? Yeah. It was really interesting to watch that dynamic that they had, and it was the first time I'd ever seen that, and the first time I seen so many gay people on a show, and I thought that was interesting, and it was just something different to watch. And I remember seeing people complain about it being too gay. Like, don't watch it if you think it's too gay. Like, Bravo, I believe, is like a network that's ran by gay people. Andy Cohen was like the executive, and he's openly gay. They had a lot of shows on there. I mean, a lot of shows on the network that were LGBT features, or people had, friendly, I guess you could say. But there you have these people out there. There was a woman too that was complaining, a white woman that was complaining in the comments about how the show didn't have any white people on it. And that just really got to me. I bet there were some white people writing into Bravo like, we don't like this show. There's too many blacks on there. We need some more white people on there. Like, how many shows have there been with with no black people on a reality show? Did Kim Zolciak have any black people on her show besides Sweetie, who she treated like a slave? I don't remember that, but refresh my memory. But there's, I don't watch Below the Deck, but I heard there weren't any black people on that show, or many, if any. And I don't really know all the Bravo shows, so I'm not gonna go on and on. I don't think Bethany had any on her show. If they do, a lot of these shows have black people on them. They'll have them as like the help or something, work some employee or something. But if you don't like the show, if there's not enough white people on it for you, don't watch the damn show. It's not for you. Seriously. It's just insane to me that somebody would be that negative and say something like that. I've watched so many shows in my life where there was no black people on it. And it was kind of like, damn. Like, there's some things that's too white for me to watch. Like The Lord of the Rings. Like, that shit is just too white. I would not watch that movie. But there's some things that, I could look past it. Like, yeah, whatever. If it's so good. But it's nice to see you, and I understand. I don't really get upset too much about it because we're a very small fraction of the United States population. I mean, I think we're probably between 12 and 14%. And that's very small. So I'm not going to say that, hey, we should be all over everywhere because, that's just kind of unrealistic. But at the same time, it's nice having representation. And on Kandi and the Gang, it wasn't completely black people. There were people, even though white people want to claim that all mixed people are black, they are not. They are biracial. They are mixed. They are. I'm getting tongue tied. They are not black or white. Like I said, just mixed people, whatever you want to call them. And they were on the show. There were several of them on there. Even if they probably never came out and said it, you can just look at them and kind of tell. And regardless, I still thought that the show, who knows what they would have done in a second season, too. It probably would have been different characters, different stuff. I mean, if she doesn't have any staff that are white, what's she going to do? Just bring in some actors to pretend? It's about the neighborhood where the restaurant is and who's there. And from as far as I know, Atlanta is it's not a completely black city, but I heard that there's a very large population there. I've never been there before, but I've seen a lot of shows that were produced there, or reality shows, and there seems to be a lot of black people there. So there you go for that racist person out there. I know they probably not listening, but this is my chance to vent to that Karen out there. Oh, I can't watch it. There's not enough. There's not enough white people. I can't do it. It's too many colors. I can't. Oh my God, they're eating chicken. Oh no, and they're singing. Oh my God, and they're wearing bonnets. No, I gotta turn. Like, don't watch it. Seriously, go watch. I don't know what the hell is something like. I don't watch TV. Go watch the Big Bang Theory shit. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I think I've said all I had to say. I just hope that somehow y'all can get your shit together, Kandi and Todd. Get your shit together and bring this damn show back. I need this show in my life. I wanted to see where Brian was gonna go with his solo business collaboration with Todd. I wanted to see where that was gonna go. Did Patrick ever marry Safari? I want to see what was gonna happen with that. Safari. I like looking at Safari. She was very beautiful. One of those beautiful people that you just can't take your eyes off of. Just gorgeous, beautiful woman. If I ever get some money, I'm gonna go to her. Go to Atlanta and go to her spa center and go get her to hook me up with some stuff that make my tummy smaller. Yeah, whatever she got, I want it because she looks good. I mean, I know she might have had some surgery too. Let's not front. Anybody ever notice Safari looks like I said this before in a short, but she looks like the woman that was married to Shar Jackson. She kind of looks like a younger, lighter version of Shar Jackson with darker brown eyes. Look up a picture, I'm telling you. They look like they could be sisters. I wanted to see what was going to happen with Dominique and Brandon. What was their relationship with? I want to see what happened with Dominique's career. Is she ever going to dance for Beyonce? I wanted to see if Rashard was going to come back and, to the restaurant and act the fool. No, I didn't want to see that. I wanted to know I wanted to see what happened with Philip. Was Philip going to stay with them? Is he going to, what's going to happen with him and his partner? I don't remember his name. It was like Felipe or something. I don't even remember. I'm just lying. With his partner. I would like to see where that was going to go. That was interesting seeing that. I haven't been exposed to too many relationships like his. So it was just interesting, something different to watch. Wanted to see what was going to happen. Wanted to see the old lady gang before they're no longer with us. I mean, they're getting old. I want to see them, Aunt Bertha and her red solo cup and Aunt Nora. I love Aunt Nora. Aunt Bertha, Aunt Nora I love. Mama Joyce, I could, take her or leave her, but Aunt Bertha be cracking me up. She is so funny. Seeing them when Aunt Kandi was on the Ellen show, oh, that gave me so much life. And she was doing so much publicity for the show, and she was all over the place. I can't believe that they would make a decision like this to just not bring the show back. It's so disappointing. I'm so disappointed in Bravo. I am done watching their shows. Not that I watch them anyway, because that was the only good thing that they had. Now, the drama queens love watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I don't want to watch that anymore. I want to watch something for people, for grown-ups, okay? I'm not trying to watch the grown-ass women throw shade all the time and have this braggadocious behavior and just, and see women act so ghetto, like Marlo and her. I think she's, like, so prim and proper, but just, she's not. I mean, she reminded me of like a girl in a project when I used to hang in the project. She acts like a project chick in Prada. I don't want to see that. I wanted to see Kandi in a gang, damn it. I'm pissed off. And what I need from Bravo, what I need from you is understanding. How can we communicate? I know I can't sing, y'all, but I be trying, though. I be trying so hard. You know what I'm saying? I be trying so hard. But the notes just don't be coming out right. Bravo, why? Shit just pisses me off so much. Like, if I lived in New York or wherever the hell they're, Los Angeles, I'll be outside their headquarters. Like, the people are protesting the Rolling Stones, the 200 singers, how Celine Dion was in it. I would be outside protesting Bravo. It probably wouldn't last that long because I would probably get bored because I have ADHD. But I would probably get put on a good hour protest. If I had some music, maybe 2 hours. You know, if I had some Starbucks, maybe three. But yeah, this shit is just not right. I'm really let down because it was nice. I was hoping to watch it. It was nice to watch that last year when things were just kind of settling back into normalcy after the two nightmarish years that we just had, which now kind of feels sort of like a fever dream in some ways because it was just so weird. It was just so weird. I don't even know any other way to explain that. That 2020 to 2022, it's like the beginning of the year. It was just insane. And the show made me feel good. I was going through a lot of depression from this COVID thing. It really messed up a lot of things for me. I'm grateful I have my health and I'm still alive, but at the same time, I had a lot of things going and it really screwed it up. And now I'm trying to pick up the pieces and trying to catch back up with things that I was doing at the time. Like I was in school, for instance, and that online shit just didn't work for me. Having ADHD, that shit does not work for me. I am lazy when I'm at home. I do not do shit when I'm at home, which is why I'm blogging in the bed and doing all these little shortcuts and stuff because I don't have the time to be sitting on nobody's computer at home doing class. I would rather be in the class there. I get all my stuff done, and and when I was going through that depression and disappointment from having to drop out of school, it was just like that was nice to have that shows like that to lift my spirits to make me feel better again. And bravo, done, you done fucked up, right? You done fucked up. I just had to say it. I should have put that still in there from Minister Society. But yeah, I guess the show is gone. But Kandi, do your thing. Do your thing, mama. Come on. Bring this show back. You got to do it. I know you can do it. You got that magic, you and Todd together. And I think that's all I had to say. If you enjoyed my video, please like it. If you don't like my video, dislike it. And thank you for watching, no matter what.